This video is brought to you by Grandeur Warranty, your #1 online source for factory-backed extended warranties in the country.
The CX-90 is Mazda's largest SUV.
It even has a third row and it seats 6 people in total.
And it has a turbocharged inline-6, which typically you only find in luxury or performance-based vehicles like BMWs, like my 335xi, or the new Supra, or the Lexus LS.
Mazda's not really known for luxury vehicles. Their famous slogan is Zoom Zoom, which highlights their commitment to bringing joy and excitement to drivers.
But the 2025 CX-90 seems to be focusing on luxury without the premium car brand pricing.
Affordable luxury, kinda windy out here. Can you guys tell us apart? Let's talk about the exterior. This color is machine gray metallic, which lacks tremendous creativity, but that is the color of this particular vehicle. Of course, like all manufactured vehicles, there are a lot of different options, but this is the one that we're showing you today. The grille, Jen called it beefy. I think it looks a little bit like a fisherman's net, but it is big. It is obvious that it's a Mazda with this, size of Colorado emblem right here on the front. But I think it looks classy, it looks nice, and it looks sleek. And the headlights exist. They're right here. Woohoo! One cool feature is that the turn signals are actually integrated into the grille, which is kind of nifty. It's got a nice slope along the top with a little metallic accents along the windows and a fancy little inline-6 badge right here, just in case you forgot.
On the back end, you can see it's quite bubbly. She's a bubbly gal. We've got the CX-90 all-wheel drive badge. That is an important thing to mention because all CX-90s are all-wheel drive. That does come standard. And as kind of a continuous luxury thing that they're doing, the exhaust tips are actually hidden.
Why is that luxury?
Because they don't want to see it. Performance is like, show me the, polished exhaust tips. But luxury, they're like, ugh, I don't want them to see that I have exhaust on this car. Finally coming to the wheels, it has 21-inch black wheels with the polished silver around the sides. I don't like that it comes with 21s. Yes, it may look cool, but I don't think that it's going to give a really good ride. What do you think, Mary?
I think we have to get it on the road to see. Right off the bat, it's a pretty firm ride. Mazda doesn't really focus on the floatiness in their vehicles, which might kind of be necessary for a luxury vehicle, but to their credit, it is very quiet in the cabin for the most part.
And the steering is pretty responsive, which is something I like. I don't like to feel too disconnected, too much of a floaty steering feel, but this is definitely very direct. In the higher rev range, this straight 6 sounds fantastic. And it's reliable. Straight 6s have always been known to be, more performance-based and reliable, and they sound amazing. But in the lower RPMs, like when you're putting around 2,000, the engine makes kind of some weird noises, but that wouldn't necessarily bother me too much because I always have music playing, so I wouldn't really hear it.
Speaking of music, actually, the CX-90 has a 12-speaker Bose system, which is tried and true. I love Bose speakers. And overall, honestly, Jen, I think the interior is pretty nice. Tan Nappa leather. It's very soft. I wish you could feel it. Unfortunately, you can't, not through the screen.
It's got this nice suede on it.
I kind of have a personal vendetta against Mazda's infotainment systems as a whole. I really dislike the fact that it's not a touchscreen. This little wheel it just grinds my gears. It's not something that brings me joy.
I have a completely different take on it. I am not a huge fan of touchscreens because now you have to take your eyes off the road to fumble with this whole thing. If you go over a bump, now you've touched something completely different. This allows me to navigate through the touchscreen without having to really move my finger and do everything like this. I actually kind of prefer this type of system. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I mean, it's nothing new in the infotainment, right?
No, this is kind of how Mazda's been for quite a long time. And I will say I don't like their infotainment necessarily all that well. They do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and this is a pretty big screen. It's a 12.3-inch infotainment screen here, and we have a 12.3-inch cluster.
Also, it does have Jen's favorite thing.
buttons.
Physical buttons.
Y'all, we got buttons for all of our temperature controls, our heated steering wheel, heated seats, ventilated seats. I mean, come on, luxury. And then we've got nice little toggles for your temperature controls as well as your auto function.
In terms of comfort, comfortability, comfortability, the ability to be comfortable.
Nailed it.
In terms of comfort, the seats are very, very comfortable. Like we said, they're perforated for that heat and ventilation. The material itself is very soft. It's not too soft. There's like a firmness to it, so you don't feel like you're sinking.
Napa leather on the outside, but you have that kind of same suede on the middle of the seat, and plus it's got like this little black strap to give it a little more depth, a little bit of a differentiation. I like these seats a lot, and the front seats are both power and they have lumbar support, which is always a really nice thing to have.
We also do have wireless charging with a big wireless charging pad down here. It's a little thinner than normal, wouldn't you say, Jen?
Yeah, it's a little thinner, but I do like that it angles down so that it's not just gonna like eject out of there.
This is a 12-volt plug right there, and you also have 2 cup holders, pretty small, but still there. Normal shifter, which Mary loves.
Well, it's kind of normal. So there's a little button in the front, and then to get it out of park, you have to tilt it to the right and then go down for neutral and drive. And then to put it back up in park, you have to slap it over to the left again. So relatively normal.
And this little console right here, which also has 2 USB-C ports in here and can close very conveniently. It has a double opening.
Oh, like fancy.
Double doors.
A double doors.
What's the double doors open?
Oh, how fancy.
What's the double doors closed?
It's got a little camera signal here, and I believe that is for our 360 view.
360 view screams luxury to me.
And what I like, so in my car I have this 360, aerial view, but it's one or the other, and this actually gives you both. So when you are backing up, you also have the backup camera as well. And then we also have the side views, and I really like this for when you're getting really close to backing up next to a curb or anything like that, so you're not going to curb your wheels. That is a devastating feeling.
Your ginormous wheels.
The steering wheel is two-tone, and I think it does look really cool. I don't know that I like necessarily the feeling of this seam all the way around, but I think it looks really cool. We have a plethora of buttons ranging from your driving distance for adaptive cruise control and your next track buttons and everything like that. Volume, I like to have volume and next track buttons on the front. I know a lot of companies will put them on the back of the steering wheel, and if you don't remember which side it is, sometimes you're either changing the track or adjusting the volume when that's not what you want to do. But also, Mary, we got paddle shifters. These paddle shifters, while they are plastic, they certainly give off more of a sporty feel, especially with this 3.3 liter turbocharged inline 6. It's got 340 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque, made it up to an 8-speed automatic. And 0 to 60 is no joke. 0 to 60 is 6.3 seconds, which is quite respectable, if you ask me. Whoa! See, the handling feels good. The suspension is not bad. It's a little stiffer, like we mentioned,
sure.
But
it's firm. Back seat. At first glance, the back seat is hella nice, I gotta say. The seats continue with the perforation, so you have heated and ventilated seats back here, which, talk about luxurious in the second row. They're thinking about the people in the back. And you have your own climate control where you can adjust the vents as well as the temperature. In addition, we have this awesome panoramic sunroof that goes all the way back here. Obviously, it does not extend into the third row, but that does bring me to the fact that the third row exists. Jen, this is a 3-row SUV.
Technically, yes.
Which means, in my mind, that's a family hauler. That means like kiddos are gonna be back here, right?
Yeah.
The reason that concerns me is because the suede is back here also. Have you met a child with hands? A child with hands?
Children, in fact, are the stickiest things known to man on Earth. So imagine they're like chewing all their candies and whatever you let them eat in your car, in your super nice, luxurious car, and then they're just like, oh, this feels nice. And then this will never be the same. This is just gonna get gummed up and matted, and it's not gonna look great. And The thing is, they continued that really nice suede insert on the perforations in the middle of the seats for the second row. So these are gonna get chewed up with car seats, not to mention loose candies and such. This is gonna get just completely trashed if you've got some little ones. Mm-hmm. Great in the luxury sense, but for the little ones, I don't know.
We also have these sunshades, or as we like to call them, peasant blockers. And there's nothing more luxurious than not wanting to see poor people.
With high-end features can come high repair costs. So if you plan on having your car past its original warranty, consider an extended warranty with Grainger Warranty. You can still take it to any appropriate dealer. They'll get it fixed with appropriate manufacturer parts installed by manufacturer-trained techs. In terms of the back seat, you're actually quite separated from the other passenger with this huge center console here. We've got two relatively large cup holders here, and then an actual storage cubby in the middle, and then there's another storage cubby that you can hide your diaries and all your other treats and probably Twizzlers if you're a child.
My gripe is that if you're in the third row, you're probably the least favorite kid.
Correct.
Or you're the smallest, right? You suffer the curse of short legs. And to me, the easiest way to access that third row is just walking right through here, right where this beefy console is. That's not to say that, of course you can do this, climb back that way, but I don't know. It just feels like if you have a car seat in the second row, right? Again, family holler, if you have kiddos, like even small kiddos with a baby seat, car seat, it's gonna suck getting your third and fourth back here. Here comes Jen.
Wait, am I climbing in here?
You are, my queen.
Right. Okay, so you're not forgotten about, because this is relatively pretty roomy. We do have USB-C port on either side, and we have AC vents. So they actually do care if you are cold or hot back here.
And it actually is pretty roomy, I gotta say. Can you tell from this angle? Probably not. I actually do have room for days.
Well, dang, Mary.
Yeah.
So maybe this isn't as cramped as we thought it'd be in the back. Cargo space may not look all that huge right now. We got 16 cubic feet behind the third row seats. What is she doing?
You can break dance.
But drop these bad boys down, jumps up to 40 cubic feet. Drop these second row seats down, jumps up to 75 cubic feet. But Mary, that's not even my favorite part. Do you know what we have under here?
Oh my God, is it a spare tire?
It sure the freak is. We got a little space saver spare, a lot better than, oh goodness gracious. And then we also have a household 120 volt outlet back here. How neat is that?
Would you look at that?
Would you look at that? Sometimes you gotta look at something and say, would you look at that?
Would you?
I would.
It also has 5,000 pounds of tow. Did you do that? It can also tow 5,000 pounds. How? Where's the tow hook?
The receiver is gonna be underneath here.
Oh, slay.
Yeah.
Its fuel economy is 23 in the city and 28 on highway, so it is a grand total of 25 mpg combined, which is not bad.
No.
Not bad at all. It also feels premium without being super showy. You know what I'm saying? Like it blends in nicely into society.
Yes. Being in this car, like especially the suede and everything, right now it looks great. I don't know how it's gonna look in the future, but being in this car makes me feel like this is a very premium vehicle, but without having to pay for that premium badge, like a Mercedes or a BMW. This also has some of the standard goodies that you would expect, like adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, and blind spot monitoring. So as you can see, it is luxurious for sure. And I did mention affordable luxury, right? But listen, nothing is actually affordable anymore. In today's day and age, in 2025, the average new car costs $48,000, which is insane. This CX-90S Premium Plus is $58,500, so still insane. But for what you get with all of this luxuriousness compared to a premium car brand, it's actually pretty sick. Actually, baller for real.
Oh no.
No cap, it's looking lit. It's different, it's bussing.
Bussin'.
Oh, has a clutch? There's no clutch though.
No, it's clutch.
Oh, slaps. Oh, well, it's really nice, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Check out alltfl.com for even more videos. This has been Jen.
And Mary!
We'll see you next time.
This is an atrocity. What is this?
I'm trying to be like the kids.
It's not good.
The cool kids,
No,
you know?
I'm gonna burn this.
No, Mary. I'm young and hip and with it.